Greetings from sunny South Florida here in Boca Raton. I'm Rabbi Yaakov Gibber from the Boca Jewish Center. I'm honored to participate in this Web Devar Torah, and I'm thankful to the coordinators for facilitating this great program. In this week's Parshat Balak, undoubtedly the most famous words of praise spoken by Bilam of Bnei Israel is his proclamation, Matovu oy halecha Yaakov, Mishkan oisecha Yisrael, how good are your tents, O Yaakov, your residences, O Israel. Chazal offers several different interpretations of this pasuk, of this verse. The first, Meseches Bava Basra, the Gemara explains that Bilam saw that Bnei Israel arranged its doors to their tents in such a way that families could not see into each other's homes. His expression of admiration for this practice, it forms the basis of the halacha forbidding neighbors from having their windows or doors facing one another. That's the first and well-known famous interpretation. Another interpretation, which appears in Maseches Sanhedrin, when the Gemara tells us, is that Bilam here prophetically praised Bnei Israel for their Batei Knesios, for their synagogues, for their Batei Midrashos, their study halls, where they would gather, where they would daven, where they would learn. And this interpretation forms the basis of the custom followed by many to recite this pasuk upon entering into the Beis HaKnesses for Shachris each and every morning, as we are all familiar. Significantly, these two interpretations, they reflect two opposite, but certainly not contradictory, admirable qualities of Bnei Yisrael. The first, it relates to privacy and distinctiveness, how families live private, independent lives without peering into one another's affairs, how important this idea is, being careful to be sure to it that one only attends their attention in specific matters and in a specific way. The ideal of Matovu or Halecha, according to this explanation, is one of individualism and separateness, of distinct family units conducting their private and unique affairs in their own way, as suits them, without looking at what other people are doing or worrying likewise about what other people are doing, looking at them. The second idea, by contrast, speaks of the greatness of the large institutions, the houses of worship, the places of learning, where large crowds of different kinds of people come together to come to daven and to study biyachad together. So according to this interpretation, it's Bilam here who also praises, but here in this case praises not the people's separateness, but rather their ability to join together in the devoted service of the Almighty. It's the devoted service of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's perhaps the combination of these two interpretations, unique but separate, that poses the greatest challenge for all of us, and which, when it's achieved, becomes the greatest source of praise imaginable. We are, of course, as we know, to serve the Almighty both individually, as singular units, but also likewise collectively, by forging our own independent identities, while still bonding together with our fellow Jews for joint prayer and study. We daven individually, we learn individually, but of course we come together with tefillah, for davening, tefillah b'tzibor, and limud HaTorah b'rabim. These, of course, are both these ideas of ideals of individuality and the collectiveness for which there's bonding together. Bilam's blessing, if you will, to us, the bracha, is that we should always succeed in maintaining this delicate and oftentimes difficult balance between the distinctiveness, the uniqueness, the singular, the personal, the private, and the unity, the collaborative, the community component, living separate from one another, but also by joining together to form a cohesive community and to work as a single nation. And so this, while it is a great challenge, here with this bracha, or these two brachos, the interpretations of both of these Gemaras, help us realize that not just with one singular goal, but multiple goals, multiplicity of tasks, singular and communal, the blessings of Bilam, where he blesses us. And this is what perhaps we could suggest might be the true meaning of Matovu oy halecha Yaakov, success in maintaining both our individual identities as well as our unity and collective devotion to Torah, to Klal Yisrael, to the unity of our peoplehood, and in so doing we make a Kiddush Hashem. It's the blessing, it's the bracha of Bilam that challenges us, that cajoles us, that encourages us, and inspires us to reach great heights in both of these areas. Good Shabbos.